All right, so this is still a very similar process. So it's just kind of given to us differently. Let me read the problem for you guys. If theta is an angle in standard position and its terminal side passes through the point 12, -5, find the exact value of cosecant theta in simplest radical form. So let me first draw for you the point 12, -5. So I'm just, I don't want to do this in red, I want to do it in black. Okay. Sorry, all my circles are so ugly. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so 12, -5, let's just say it's like somewhere here-ish, okay? I'll label it 12, -5. Positive 12, so I know I went to the right, -5, so I know I went down, so I end up being in quadrant 4. Now I want you to draw the triangle that exists in quadrant 4, so connect it to the center and then bring from your point to the x-axis so that you get this triangle. Okay, so now we're going to label this triangle. I'm going to use some colors to label it. So the 12 is your x value, which means it's the left-right direction. So on this leg, I'm going to label that 12. And then on the -5, that's the y value. So that's the up-down direction. So that's this leg. I'm going to label that -5. So we have two sides of our triangle labeled, but not the third. So to solve for the third leg, or not the third leg, to solve for our third side, aka the hypotenuse, we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. So once again, we have our A, we have our B, we have our C. C is always the hypotenuse. Let's solve for it. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So we got 12 squared plus -5 squared equals C squared. So we got 144 plus 25, positive 25, because a -5 times itself, negative times negative, is a positive. So positive 25 is equal to C squared. That is a square. And then when you add it together, you get 169 is equal to C squared, square root, and you get 13 is equal to C. Remember that your C value is always a positive number. So since it is just the radius of the circle, since it is just the distance from the center to your point, it's going to be a positive C value always. So we have positive 13 here. Okay, any questions up until here? I'm going to pause the recording. All right, so now that we have all three sides of our triangle labeled, we can now proceed to do our cosecant. So they want us to find cosecant theta in simplest radical form. So according to the chart from what we just did in the previous section, cosecant is 1 over sine, so it's hypotenuse over opposite. Did I do that right? Yes, cosecant is 1 over sine. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So yeah, cosecant is hypotenuse over the opposite side. So then all we gotta do is put this together. What is our hypotenuse? 13. What is our opposite? -5. And then we simplify. In this case, this is already simplified. So our answer is 13 over -5. Now I believe if you type 13 over -5 onto Delta Math, it would be fine, but you could technically do -13 over 5. So like a negative fraction like this. I'm not sure exactly if Delta Math will take this one, but I'm gonna try it so then you'll know. These two are literally the same answer, it's just they're written slightly differently. So I will be your guinea pig. I'm gonna type 13 over -5 to see if this will work on Delta Math. But before I do that, any questions? I'm gonna pause the video. 13 over -5. Let's see, it should take it. Yeah, it's still the same fraction anyways, so you don't have to put your negative somewhere else. All right, let's do another one. All right, let's draw our point on this circle. Oops, whatever. 7 to the right, and then -24. So we're still in quadrant 4, but that's fine. And then in quadrant 4, this is how you draw your triangle. I'm going to label the 7 as the positive, or let me label the point first, 7, negative 24. So once again, the 7 is our x value, so that's over here. That's the distance to the right. And the negative 24 is our y value, and that's our distance down. Okay, then we're going to use our Pythagorean theorem. Remember, it could be A or B, it doesn't matter which one, so let's just do B and A like that. Literally, it doesn't matter if we switch the order. And then we have C over there, so solving for C. So we got negative 24 squared plus 7 squared equals C squared. I'm going to use my calculator for this because I don't want to mess it up. So we get 576 plus 49 equals C squared. Add it together, you get 625 is equal to C squared. Then you square root, and you get 25 is equal to C. And remember that C is always a positive number. Just going to label it there. Remember that C is always a positive number because it is just the radius. It is just the distance between the center and your point. Okay. All right, let's take a look at what our tangent would be. So here's tangent. According to SOHCAHTOA, according to our chart, we have that tangent is the opposite over adjacent. And so we're just going to plug these in. We have the opposite, negative 24, over the adjacent, 7. And then we ask ourselves, can we simplify this? And in this case, the answer is no. So then therefore, this is our final answer, negative 24 over 7. So I know I did this one a little bit faster, but were there any questions on this? Oh yeah, I could pause this. All right, so I think that should be enough for this section. We did 2 examples. Oh, let me enter this in. Negative 24 over 7. Okay, so I think that should be enough. If you guys do have more questions, make sure you call me over during the breakout rooms, okay?